Was it just so exciting for you? Just because, like, when Summer got hurt, it was, like, the worst timing. It was because it was too, I feel like it had reached the tipping point where it's too late for other people in the Olympic race to break up with their partners. And so, like, was it, you obviously, like, I was so impressed with how much work you put in. And you were just, like, with Jose all the time, putting your work in. And then, like, you know, you're playing with Brandy and then Lauren and Emily. And, like, how tough was it to just keep maintaining that work ethic throughout that so that when it came time for the shuffle that, like, you were up there?
Yeah, I mean, it was very tough. Like, it was so hard because it's been seriously my dream since I was 8 years old. The moment I stepped on the beach volleyball court, I was like, this is where I want to be for the rest of my life, and this is what I want to do. And I was getting there, you know, with Summer, and you know, a lot of people might not have remembered, but you were
so good.
We were up there, and we were the #1 U.S. team for a very long time, and then unfortunately, you know, something happens that's completely out of your control, and an injury happens, and you just can't go forward. And I was shattered. I mean, like, you fight so hard for something, and then it's like gone, and you're like, but I did nothing wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that was the hardest part for me, just emotionally, and it was just like, what the heck? But it was like, you have two options here. You can just give up, quit, sulk, be like, why did this happen to me? Or you can get better and just push it aside and move on and just keep going after what you want. And that's exactly, you know, what I decided to do, was like, oh, there's no matter what happened, I still want this more than anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, you know what, say my piece with it and get back on the volleyball court. And like you said, it was kind of that tipping point where maybe somebody could have taken a chance on me, but it was right during that qualification.
Yeah.
And so it was like I understood, but I was like, man, I wish somebody just took the chance. But, you know, Lauren Fendrick and I were like, let's do it. And we went to the first tournament, we won, and then COVID happened.
Oh, God.
So it was like, man, one thing after the other. But, I mean, everyone had to go through, you know, COVID and lockdown.
Yeah.
And then once that was over, there was no 12 tournaments before the Olympics.
Right.
So it was actually impossible to
Oh,
qualify.
I didn't know
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't even get your shot.
Didn't
really.
even get my shot. Yeah, so like between the time of getting one tournament with Lauren and then looking at the schedule, it was like, oh, we have a shot, and then lockdown.
That's wild.
And then there wasn't even 12 tournaments, so it was just kind of like, oh, there's nothing you can do. But it was like, all right, back to the grind, back to getting better. And like you said, a lot of those practices were just me out on the court with Jose, who was absolutely incredible, bringing in some other coaches and kind of just keep getting that training in. But, you know, and then now here we are today. Like, whatever happened in the past, it's in the past, and now I'm just completely moving forward, and with this great new team, and then this great new partner, and then we got that great finish, and right back where we were supposed to be.
You had your plight, as Mikkel says.
Yep.
He likes that. He likes when you go through something and then come out on the other side with, I mean, we all like it. You know, come out on the side even better with a new skill set and whatnot.
It's growth, right? I mean, you can either learn from it or it can suck you down, but it was like, for me, I'm like, where I'm learning from it, and I honestly think it's made me a better player. And in those really tough spots on the court, it's like, oh my gosh, so much pressure, but it's like, well, I've been here, you know, I've been through a lot worse, so just breathe and pass the ball, you know. So I think it's helped.
Before that, at least from a fan's perspective, there wasn't much downs in your career before that. It was like all you knew was winning. Sarah Hughes steps on the court, she wins. And then the Summer thing happens, and it's funny because, like you kind of mentioned earlier, like, people kind of forget what that whole process is like, and you're the only one that really remembers it. I remember feeling that way too when I was out. I was like, these people forget what I was doing before. Like, you're just another player, you know? If you're not in the rankings, you're just another player.
Yeah.
So, especially in the volleyball world, I mean, I'm sure every sport, right? Somebody's not playing well or somebody's down. It's like, whatever, we forget about them. But it's just like very easily forgotten. And that's okay to me, because you really find who your friends are, who your family is, who you can trust.
Yep.
Because it's like, you want the people who will be there for you no matter what, and you learn that pretty quickly when you're at the top, and then all of a sudden you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
So, also a good thing to learn.
But another weapon that you have in your career and life and in general, not just feeling that success. Now, like if a little dip comes, you kind of have that weapon too. You're like, been there too. I've been on top. I've been down below. Not really bottom, because you, like you said, you didn't really even do anything to lose or to lose all those points and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, for me that's exciting. Like when I see it too, I'm like, oh, now you got the superpower. Because I had my 2 years off too, you know.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you can relate, you can understand. It's just got to keep going, keep grinding, and honestly, just never give up.
Yeah. Like no one ever like wishes those tough moments on anyone, and then but every time that person gets on the other side of whatever bad thing happened, they're like, oh yeah, like I learned so much that was in retrospect one of the better things that's happened to me in my career, because you really learn like to figure things out, and like you end up so much mentally tougher on the other side of whatever adversity it could be. And I feel like you're gonna come out with, like, I feel like you have this like new appreciation almost for like a partnership and a team and like just moving forward.
Yeah,
now you got a gold medal
for sure. I mean, yeah, you guys are spot on. I mean, sometimes it does just take something really tough to just come out of it even stronger. And I'm just so focused on everything that's coming up and what we're doing right now, and I think that's just a really great spot to be as an athlete.